So self-belief, sensitive, emotional, changes as life changes, and it can change day to day. You can have good days, you can have bad days, okay? Sorry, I just was expecting a picture on this slide and it isn't there, but never mind, we shall carry on. So it's hard to change your self-belief, and sometimes it can be really disappointing when something like riding can sort of turn into a disappointment or failure, or a chore rather than being something you maybe normally really enjoy, because you're losing that sort of self-belief in yourself. And it's very sensitive in that it can change with other areas of your life. You're not going to plan, so like changes of home, university, for example, perhaps a change of partner, change of job, perhaps it's just a little bit of a blip with your partner. It could just be you've got a lot on your plate at the minute, perhaps you've got a family member that's on your case, anything, you're not happy with your weight, it can be anything. And it can be so sensitive, and that's why it sort of changes day to day. So what I want to talk to you about here is feedback. So they did an experiment where they measured the sort of thoughts of the Olympic medalists, the first, second, third. And what they found was, obviously the first was very happy, but the second place was actually much less satisfied, much lower self-esteem than the third place. And this was because of the feedback they had given to themselves. And in psychology, this is called counterfactuals. And it's about how you feedback to yourself. And the middle person, the bronze medalist, what they did is they said, I could have got first. Yeah, I could have. They looked at something that they could have had, but didn't. The third person looked in the other direction and said, I could have got nothing, and I've managed to get third. So they looked at the sort of not as good option that they could have had, okay? And it just changes the perspective completely, in that the third was actually happier than the second. And I think this is very sort of something we see in life, isn't it? We always want what we don't have. I always say to my friend, oh, I really want your lovely thick hair, and she always says, oh, well, I want your nice flat hair that I don't have to straighten. And I'm like, well, mine doesn't do anything. And she's like, well, mine only does one thing, So I think you can easily want what another person has. It's like boobs are the same, I want your big boobs. Oh my God, I hate mine. I'd love your small boobs. We always think that they look to what we could have, rather than they sort of being grateful for what we've got. So affirmations.